Very good morning. Today we are going to analyze the Hindu newspaper. So I got multiple feedback, and people mentioned that instead of going for the headlines, let's have some newspaper around and let's have some reading around that. So now let me just give you some heads up about the news. So ये जो news है, this is dated today 18th of October. Right, so let's start with it today, right? So this is nothing, this is just a normal जैसे ad आती है, this is that advertisement about study IQ, so you have to do nothing about that. Let's move to the next page. Similarly, this is the same, the study IQ advertisement that is there on the second page of the newspaper. Now comes to the third page, which is the very, very crucial page. So if you guys have seen this, so yesterday, Supreme Court gave a verdict, right, that they cannot legalize the same-sex marriage, right? They cannot legalize this, but they have approved it. Yes. So this is a very big news which came yesterday, right? There was a five-judge constitution bench was there, right? And they don't have a no fundamental right. So this is not a part of our constitution, but yes, this is valid now. Now, a male to male and a female to female can get married, and this is valid. It is not a fundamental right. Again, I'm highlighting. This is not a fundamental right, but yes, this is valid as per the Supreme Court. And this is definitely going to come, in your question paper in any of the government exam where you're appearing, right? So this is going to be a big change. Why? Because this is going to change the meaning of the constitution of marriage, right? Ki what a marriage is all about. Generally, it's about one male and one female, right? Because एक marriage के basis पे there are multiple laws that are there in our, Indian society, right? So for example, when there is a violence, domestic violence cases, which were fought between male and female, right? But now in this case, this will change the entire legality and the cases structure, right? This is a huge change that we have seen, today. So would request you all to, read more about it. This is going to be a big change, right? Apart from that, you have heard about the Israel and the Gaza Strip, right? There is a war that is going on, right? So at least 500 are killed in Israeli strike in on Gaza hospital. अभी 2 दिन पहले we have heard the news that Israel have asked Gaza to close all the electricity, water supply, and every supply in Gaza which was there that was closed. But now the Israel is attacking on the Gaza. So what the case is all about? So there is like okay, so there is Christianity, right? Same there are Muslims, same there are so there are multiple religion which came from one religion, right? So there were Jews actually. You all must have heard about the Jews, right? And Jesus Christ was born in one of the Jew family, right? And then he started Christianity, right? For example, अगर मैं आपको इसे इंडिया में लिंक कराऊँ, so for example, Buddhaji was born out of a Hindu family, right? But he started a different religion with the name of Buddhism. Similarly, Christianity is raised out of Jews only, right? So there is only one line, which is Jews, and out of that, Jesus Christ was born, and then Christianity was started, and then a new religion was formed. So this is all about, one place. Which is there at this moment occupied by three religions: Jews, Israel, and Muslim, right? So all these three, religions are fighting for that particular, place. And this is the result which is going on. If you talk about Hamas, so in Gaza, there are it is known as a terrorist group. You can call it as a terrorist group. These people are called as Hamas, right? So this is a fight which is going on between these three individuals for the land. This is going on at this point of time in Israel, right? Next is so next you say so president gives away National Films Award, and the president, who's the president of India, that's Draupadi Murmu. She gave the National Film Award for 2021 under various categories on Tuesday. and she gave a Dada Saheb Phalke Award also, and this was given to veteran actor Wahida Rehman, right? You can see Wahida Rehman here. Now, no interim relief for Naidu on skill development case. Okay. Uh, the next news is Supreme Court gives Narvekar last chance to set timeline for anti-deception proceedings. Not very important. Defense Ministry asks its department to set up selfie points to showcase good work. So yes, you can visit on the website, guys. Ministry of Defense की website पे आप जाके you can click pictures and you can upload there, right? Then school jobs case, Calcutta High Court issues guidelines for media, right? So the most important news from this particular page is first on the president gives the National Film Award. This can come in your exam, and the second one is the same-sex marriage, like where it is not a fundamental right. I'm again saying it's not a fundamental right. So fundamental right is something which is there in your constitution, but this is not added to the constitution. The government have legalized it so that you can do it, but you cannot enforce any rights over it, right? So there is a difference between the two. Next page comes, which says will continue to struggle for legal recognition to same-sex marriage, right? So this is the continuation of the first page, which says the same thing, which is the summary of it, that they will continue for a legal recognition. Yes, there is no legal recognition. Legal as in they can enforce it in court. They cannot go to court that, this person has married to me and, he's not giving me this much of money or not giving me alimony, right? You cannot do that because this is still not legal. This is only you can say a kind of confirmation given to them. Yes, you can go and you can do the marriage, right? But this is not a legal right. Next news says Rai seeks emergency meets over pollution with adjoining states. High Court allowed Chadda to stay in his government bungalow. So this is about Raghav Chadda, who recently got married to Pariniti Chopra, right? So this is again not relevant for your exam point of view. Next is scheme allowing operations of bike taxis cleared by CM. Nothing new on this, and these are some of the tenders not relevant for your exam. Again, this is a Drishti IS. A hoarding advertisement, which is not again relevant for your exam. Next comes the news here. Antilia bomb case, accused discharge plea rejected. So you know whose Antilia house is off, right? Preparing to contest all 80 seats in UP, State Congress Chief, not relevant. Mizo party is paving the way for BJP RSS agenda in the state. Rahul Gandhi, not so relevant. Speaker will work to determine what is unconstitutional. See, I request to everybody, like when you're reading a newspaper, it's not necessary for you to read the entire article, right? The main important crucial point for everybody, those who are either preparing for government exam or would like to read the newspaper, is at least to read the headlines, right? Because once you read the headlines, you will get to understand what is going on in the economy, right? You will get some gist about it. That will also save your time, right? So instead of reading every line in the newspaper, you should at least read the headline. This will help you a lot. Next news comes in, people from other parties of country living here should learn Kannada. This is again not relevant to your exam. Have nothing to do with land auction in Pune, says Ajit Pawar, not relevant to your exam. Kerala government to constitute commission for welfare of senior citizens, says minister. This is going to be a bit relevant for your exam. So this can be, आप जिस पेपर के लिए तैयारी कर रहे हैं, आपका यूपीपीएस, आपका पीसीएस, यूपीएससी और एनी एग्जाम जहाँ पे आपको लिखना है इन योर मेंस, वहाँ पर this can be one point. So basis a recent survey came where it was shown that India is having now an increasing number of senior citizens, right? So as you know, we are a youth-oriented country. So at one point of time, there will be a lot of senior citizens available. At this point of time, अगर आप अपने आसपास देखोगे, you will see a lot of youth. But there will be a point after 30 years, you will see a lot of senior citizens around you, right? So Kerala government constitute a commission for welfare of senior citizen, right? So what the news is all about. So the Kerala government is planning to constitute a commission related to the issues of the senior citizen, which are specifically focusing the Kerala state at this point of time. She was speaking at a function here to distribute certificate to those who have completed the Nayapunaya Negram program, which has been implemented by the Ernakulam district administration to impart digital literacy to the elderly free of cost. See, basically, hota kya hai? So once the individual reached the age of 60, they are not eligible to work, right? Majorly in the private organizations. At that point of time, they're very much free. They are not, you know, उनका बॉडी भी फिजिकली मेंटली उन्हें अलाउ नहीं करती टू डू मल्टीपल जॉब्स सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द इनिशिएटिव टेकन बाय द Ernakulam which is in Kerala district to impart digital literacy to elderly free of cost so that they can do something digitally so जब आप लैपटॉप पे होते हो when you have hands on the laptop you can do data entry work you can create videos you can teach online, right? So for example Byju's is doing an academy you can teach online, right? At that point of time आपका age is not the matter. So for example if you see any UPSC preparation institutions or any government institutions they have a lot of elderly people because उनका experience matter a lot, right? So this is the same thing that they are doing. They are just giving a digital awareness to the elder people. Why? Because they are not very much adaptable to it, right? So at one point of time they get rigid, right? They don't want to adapt new things. So this is one of the plus point that they did. This is very very good, and this will give them freedom to learn. This will give them a platform to access a lot of knowledge, and this will give them so once you go digitally, once you go to the internet, you have access to the entire world. So this will give them a platform to explore, right? So this is a very very good initiative, and you can add this point in your exam also, right? Next news says uh, status for Metis examined and rejected in 1982 and 201. Government shows record, right? So there was a issue which was going on between Metis and cookies, right? So you all must have heard about the case which was there where the two women were, uh, you know, uh, with a group of people were roamed naked, right? And after that, a lot of riots happened, right? So this news is important, and again, this was the same, the same issue is going on again for the land, right? If you see, there is Kuki and there is Methi tribe who are again fighting for the job for the land because both the tribe are expanding, right? And everybody once you expand, when you grow, once you have a family in place, your family needs a place to live, right? So the same thing is happening in Kuki and Methi tribe also. So this is pretty much similar to what is happening at this point of time in Israel and Gaza, right? So you can relate these two. Next page, let's move to the next page. So we have 20 years after faking his death, ex-Navy man help for triple murder. Again, this is not relevant for your exam point of view. Rapid X built as major linking system, but some travelers want full operation. Okay, this you can read about it. So what is Rapid X is all about. So this is actually a maiden voyage of Delhi Meerut Regional Rapid Transit System. So this is like a new metro which is coming in place known as Rapid X. On October 20 will cover 5 stations from Cyberabad to Duhai Depot. So this is about the new metro which is about to be there, right? On the right we have only about the rise and temperature, not relevant to you guys. Okay, next is Governor Purohit says our government hasn't managed its fiscal resources effectively. Okay, so this is about, so if you have heard about the recent news, so as per the election commission, जैसा मैनिफेस्टो निकालती हैं जो टीम्स, राइट, जो जैसे आप बीजेपी जब इलेक्शंस में बैठे, they have to release a manifesto कि what they will be doing, right, for the people. So for example, जैसे बिहार में they distributed laptops, in UP they distributed laptops. So now the election commission wants to know from where you are getting that money, right? So if you're distributing say 1000 laptop, so from where you're getting that laptop amount and how you are going to distribute it, right? So this is the background which is happening, which is very, very good, right? So this is something new which should be there to, eradicate the corruption in India, right? Now comes the next page. So the next page we have KCR, government corruption pushed Telangana into debt, says Goel. not relevant. Skill development scam, SC denies interim bail to Naidu, not relevant. At outreach event for Dalit, Adityanath invokes Ambedkar. Paucity of Manrega fund hit Karnataka. Okay, what is Manrega is all about? So see, Manrega is nothing. So for example, like there is a farmer, right? And you know कि they cannot farm the entire year, right? They have crops which are valid for 6 months, and then next 6 months they are unemployed. So in Manrega, the government provide 6,000 to the farmers, right? मतलब a particular amount to the farmers, with regards to their 40 days of employment. राइट मतलब आपको आपके परिवार को एक फार्मर को पैसा दिया जाता है मनरेगा स्कीम के द्वारा फॉर फॉर दिस इज स्पेसिफिकली फॉर द फार्मर्स राइट बिकॉज दे आर नॉट एम्प्लॉयड द इंटायर ईयर सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल एस वी वर्क every day like we work for the entire year for the 12 months but farmers cannot work the entire year right for example अगर एक farmer rice cultivation कर रहा है तो वो पूरे साल राइस कल्टीवेशन नहीं कर सकता राइट बिकॉज जो उसकी फसल है जब वो मतलब राइस की खेती करेगा कभी तो उसकी फसल बिल्कुल प्लेन होगी राइट वो दोबारा बीज डालेगा मतलब थ्रू आउट द ईयर बीज या मतलब राइस कल्टीवेशन वो नहीं कर सकता कभी ना कभी उसकी फसल खाली होगी तो उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे उसकी फैमिली को तो खाना खाना है राइट तो उसके लिए सरकार उन्हें एक आमदनी एक मतलब एक अमाउंट प्रोवाइड करती है ताकि वहाँ भूखमरी या फिर कोई भूखा ना सोए right so that is a manrega scheme which is called as mahatma gandhi national rural employment guarantee scheme this scheme is very much popular in the news and this is growing very very rapidly and okay. Next news says Moitra moves Delhi High Court to restrain defamatory post against her. Not relevant. Telangana Congress chief whisked away by police. Kochi Passport Office issues advisory against online fraud. Again, not relevant. Kerala mulls planting bamboo along Munnar Gap Road to avoid landslips. Okay, so this is a very, very, मतलब big thing that we all should read about. So landslips होते कैसे हैं? Landslides होते कैसे? जैसे अभी recently उत्तराखंड में भी you must have seen there were a lot of landslides. होता क्या है कि जब हम रोड बनाते हैं, right? When we make a road, right? जब हम रोड बनाते हैं तो उसके आसपास जितने भी पहाड़ होते हैं, right? पहाड़ होते हैं पहाड़ के इधर यहाँ पे ट्री होते हैं राइट तो टू मेक द रोड व्हाट वी डू वी कट द ट्रीज ठीक है तो जब हम ट्रीज को कट कर देते हैं जो ट्रीज होते हैं वो पहाड़ का जो सॉइल होता है उसको होल्ड करके रखते हैं राइट जैसे ही हम रोड बनाएंगे हमें ट्रीज कट करने पड़ेंगे तो उससे क्या होता है जो सॉइल होता है वो फ्री हो जाता है ठीक है तो जैसे ही ऊपर से पानी आता है राइट पहाड़ों से जैसे ही पानी आता है तो धीरे धीरे वो सॉइल जो है खिसकने लग जाती है और जब वो सॉइल खिसकती है तो लैंडस्लाइड हो जाता है क्योंकि उस मिट्टी को होल्ड करने के लिए वहां पे ट्री नहीं है राइट तो इसीलिए कहा जाता है कि प्लांटिंग ट्रीज इज वेरी वेरी क्रूशियल अगर आप पानी के आसपास भी जब देखेंगे जब आप समुद्र जाते हैं तो वहां पे भी यू विल सी अ लॉट ऑफ बंच ऑफ छोटे छोटे से पत्ते आप देखोगे तो वो पत्ते क्या करते हैं वो पानी की वेव्स को आगे नहीं आने देते हैं लाइक वेन एवर यू गो मतलब आप जब आसपास कभी कहीं समुद्र के किनारे जाओ या लाइक आप वहाँ पे ये चीज़ ऑब्जर्व करोगे आइलैंड पे स्पेसिफिकली वहाँ पे आप बहुत सारे पत्ते देखोगे ठीक है वो पानी को ऊपर नहीं आने देते हैं ठीक है सो दिस इज हाउ आर नेचर वर्क्स लेकिन अगर आप उन पत्तों को काट दोगे उन पेड़ों को काट दोगे तो डेफिनेटली वाटर विल कम and then you will have tsunami and then you'll have flood and then you will have landslide so this is how the trees work right so Kerala mulch planting bamboos along the Munnar Gap road to avert landslip so this is what this is all about let's move to the next page. So this is only about the tender notices, nothing to read about. Okay, this is about so this is the editorial page. Generally, I recommend to all that once you're reading the newspaper, try to spend a lot of time on the editorial because editorial से you will learn a new word. अगर आप रोज भी 5 नए वर्ड सीखते हो तो डेफिनेटली आपकी जो vocab है वो इम्प्रूव हो जाएगी राइट सो आई रिक्वेस्ट एवरीबॉडी टू डू रीड लाइक पूरा न्यूज़पेपर जब आप पढ़ते हो उसमें बाकी में आप हेडलाइंस पढ़ लो लेकिन जो आपका एडिटोरियल का पेज होता है उसको आप अच्छे से ज़रूर पढ़ो. That will definitely going to give you 5 or 6 new words. So for example, यहाँ पे एक editorial है, law and custom. Court verdict leaves queer people with long struggle ahead of equality. So this is about the same sex marriage that we were reading on the first page. So queer people is nothing. This is the LGBTQ people only, right? So court ने verdict दिया है कि after their long struggle, they are also equal to us. They also have a right to live. They also have a right to equality. They also have a right to marriage. But again, this is not a free, not given in the not given in the constitution, right? This is not a fundamental right. I'm again saying this is not a fundamental right, guys. Okay. Okay. The Supreme Court of India refusal to grant legal recognition to marriage between the person of same-sex marriage is a huge legal setback to the queer community in the country, given the progress in the law in recent years and deepening of the meaning of individual right. This was a widespread expectation that the five-judge constitution bench would give the Special Marriage Act, right, a law that allow any two people to marry. Again, this is about any two people. Earlier this was about a male and a female. This time it's about any two people to marry, a gender neutral interpretation to include people belonging to the same sex. Over the years, the amplitude of Article 21 of the Constitution have expanded to the covered the right of privacy, dignity, and marital choice. But the highest court has stopped short of the extra step needed to allow marriages or the civil unions that are not heterosexual. So there is a difference. So what is heterosexual? So this is a new word that we have learned today. Homosexual is of similar, like they are of similar, they are same. Hetero, like they are different, right? So this is a new word that we learned today. Okay, so homo means same and hetero means different. So this is a new word that we have learned today from this article. All the five judges have chosen to leave it to the legislature to enact such a law. Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul have ruled that queer couples have a right to seek recognition for their union but declined to read down the provisions of the SMA, that is Special Marriage Act, to that effect. On the other hand, Justice S. Ravindra Bhatt, Hema Kohli, and P.S. Narasimha reject the position, holding that any such recognition can only be based on statute. In effect, the court has accepted the government's view that any move to legalize same sex marriage will fall in the legislature domain. In concluding that there is no fundamental right to marry, again, there is no fundamental right to marry, the court has negated the expectation that it would not allow discrimination against same-sex couple in the marital domain to continue. Marriage is indeed a social institution with its own legal requirements and conditions for what constitutes a valid. Okay, what is the meaning of valid? Valid and void. There are two words, valid and void. Void is null. There is no value to it. Valid is जिसको आप enforce कर सको, ठीक है, जिसको आप कोर्ट में ले जा सको कि दिस वॉज अ वैलिड एग्रीमेंट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ए एंड बी जो है दो एग्रीमेंट करते हैं, राइट? अगर दोनों पेपर पे साइन करते हैं तो दैट इज नोन एज वैलिड. लेकिन अगर उन दोनों में से एक पेपर पे साइन नहीं करता है तो दैट इज नोन एज वॉइड एग्रीमेंट. This is the second word that we have learned today. The right to seek social and legal validation through marriage is a matter of individual choice protected by the Constitution, but the court still views it as a being subject to statutory limitation because we do have a limitation in place, right? Because there are same-sex marriage, so there are some limitations around it. The majority disfavors the position that queer couples have the right to adopt children, but agrees with the minority that there is no bar on trans person entering into heterosexual marriages. There is no disagreement among the judges about the right of same-sex couples to cohabit and be free from coercion. What is the meaning of coercion? Coercion matlab zabardasti, forcefully. Gives that large section of India may be opposed to the legislation of same-sex marriage on religious and cultural grounds. Because see, when you get married to the same sex, right? अगर आप मेल हैं और आप मेल से ही शादी करेंगे तो there will be multiple cultural impact, right? That is going to be going to take place after the marriage. Like who will like fast for you, who will behave like a woman for you, right? Who will perform the women activities, who will do the male activities, right? So there will always be a conflict, right? The possibility of Parliament taking the initiative to do so is quite bleak. The LGBTQIA community may not have to take hurt from the court direction that the government should form a committee to decide the right and entitlement of the queer couples. The community, however, still has a quite of a struggle ahead before the law catches up with yearning for the quality. See, so once you read this, this is a very small editorial that we read today, and when we read it, so we got multiple words from it, right? So we got it. Um, so for example, heterosexual was one word we learned, valid, coercion, right? So हो सकता है कि majorly of you already knew the meaning of these words, but yeah, this is still something new that we learned today. Next editorial is demolishing the frame from outside the constitution. So this is about the textual transformation, but also a in subversion of liberal democratic. Okay, so this is about the constitutional law that this person is talking about, which is I think does not seems to be very much relevant for the exam point of view. Then centralized procurement as a powerful health idea. Again, this is again a good editorial that you should read. Then back in business, New Zealand cannot afford to drop welfareism while setting economy right. Right. So editorial gives you a lot of knowledge. Again, the next page is it's about the opinion. It's upon you whether you would like to read about or not. So don't, once you read the newspaper, you start making your opinion, right? जब आप टीवी देखते हैं, न्यूज़ देखते हैं, वहां पे तो आपको सामने किसी का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू सुनने को मिलता है, लेकिन जब आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते हो तो आपको अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू बनाने को मिलता है, विच इज़ अ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग थिंग. So for example, when triggers and jackals get the same protection, right? So this is an opinion that you would like to read, you can. The representation of OBC in a faculty recruitment in HEIS, right? So this is a very important thing which is going on at this moment. So you should read about it. Next is Jordan joined in Syrian offensive. Okay, a new currency scheme. Next is the Congress Balancing Act. The party is attempting to make inroads to in the non-Jat vote base in Haryana. This is about the election which is going on. Next is text and context. The allegation on Adani coal import. Okay, so you must have heard about like a lot of things are going on between Adani and Modi ji, right? So this article is about that. So let's go to the gist to save the time. In a recent report, the Financial Times stated that the Adani Group appeared to have imported billions of dollars of coal at prices above their market value. For example, bulk carrier DL Acacia transported 74820 tons of coals in January. Records mention this is the price. However, upon an arrival at India's Mundra port in Gujarat, you must have heard about this port. This is a very, very beautifully made port. Earlier, there was only there was no port in place, right? But Modi ji gave this property to this place to Adani to build a port there. This will help to create a lot of jobs, right? This really, really helps in our country to develop. So they are saying it arrived at Mundra port in Gujarat. So this can come in your exam in any of the objective questions. Ki where is Mundra port exactly, right? The Adani Group alleged that the report ignored that coal procurement in India was done on a long-term supply basis through an open, transparent global bidding process, thereby eliminating any possibility of price manipulation. So you can see कि इतना बड़ा जो आपका आर्टिकल है उसका इन्होंने यहाँ पे जस्ट भी दिया, just to give you a heads up कि if you're saving the time you can just read it and then you can move ahead. Okay, next is what comes in our next page. Then we have again on the same-sex marriage, and okay, this is same. Then we have something on the OBC quota, health insurance, not relevant. Okay, this is about the politics, BSP, Ghar Wapsi campaign, not relevant for the exam point of view. Okay, strength human rated rocket is ready for Gaganyaan. This is very very important. You must have heard about the recent developments that ISRO did in the space. So this you can read about. Modi direct ISRO to land man on moon by 2040. So this is our upcoming missions that we are planning to do. Then not in receipt of fund from any government on party singer, not relevant. President gives away film award. Actor Wahida Rehman gets the Falke Award. So this you can read about. So who got the Falke Award this year? This is Wahida Rehman. Then Punjab police arrest former Congress MLA not relevant to exam. Medical winning military personnel to get cash prize. Okay, This is again not so much relevant to us. Next is Supreme Court divided on allowing unmarried couples to adopt children jointly. This is something new. So see, when anyone adopt a child, so this will definitely going to help the welfare of the society. When they adopt the child, they go for the welfare of the kids. इससे बच्चों का भी अच्छा होता है, सोसाइटी का भी अच्छा होता है, right? This helps at a multiple level. Then institution of marriage has undergone on sea changes. Supreme Court. RSS VHP welcomes Supreme Court verdict on same-sex marriage. So yeah, today's newspaper is everywhere on the same-sex marriage, right? And next is dejected and disappointed activists. Activist says fight will go on because this is still not legal. So yes, they will continue to fight. Trans persons have right to marry under existing laws. Expert welcome the Supreme Court decision, saying it's a step forward, though it falls short of expectations. But yes, definitely they got approval, but they don't have a fundamental right. Again, this is a plus point for them. Okay, so the next we have a bit about the business. US, China, Shafet, India curbs on laptop, PC import, not relevant. Red Rail makes real-time train info accessible via WhatsApp. Glenmark psoriatic arthritis generic get US FDA not. Amul B more milk goes global at Times Square. Bajaj Finance Q2 net profit rises, not relevant. Modi unveils long-term blueprint for India maritime economy. This you can read about. And so this is about Amrit Kal vision that he is having for 2047. L&T Tech Services Q2 net profits rises, not relevant to your exam. Then let's go to the next page we have. This is about the world. This you can definitely read about. So, US President Biden to visit Israel as Gaza around invasion loom. Israel army thwarts infiltration bid from Lebanon, killing four. West Asia is on the brink of abyss. Jordan King says in Germany, no one can stop resistance if Israel keep bombing Gaza. Israel. Nepal and Bangladesh trade charges of sexism, nepotism in their battle for WHO post. Hundreds of are still under the rubble of hospital hit by Israel. Yeah, this is going very dirty. Polish opposition wins parliamentary majority in tight vote. Belgian police shoot terrorist who murdered two Swedes. Ashutosh smashes 11 ball 50 breaks Yuvraj record. Again, not relevant from the exam point of view. Okay. Then we have the sports. Flying Dutchmen take the wind out of protest sales. Consistent. India has set up nicely for tougher battles on road ahead. Okay. Again, sports. Okay, again, sports. Then we have something around the science part. This we can read about. Undervaluing faculty fellowship is bad for scientists and science. Let's go to the gist part. In the last 2 decades, India has developed structured fellowship to help scientists establish research programs and institute in the country. Even after several years, faculty fellowship program in India is struggling to find a place within the mainstream scientific enterprise. Government funded scientific institution in India face crippling challenge related to the faculty recruitment with inordinate delay, age cutoff, and lack of qualified candidates. So, for example, if you know about NEET, right? Every year in India, how many candidates or how many seats are, selected from NEET? Max to max 1 lakh. So, जैसे India की population is growing, out of that only 1 lakh candidates are selected every year. This is very bad. Pain as a warning system. Pain receptors are nerve terminals which are triggered by chemical stimulus. An archaeology student excavates a burial mound in the Lihan. Not relevant. Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. This is for today. So this is about the entire news. So we covered 23 pages today. Okay, thank you so much.